Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay.
All right, good morning and welcome to the Sports Buffet on Liberty TV Radio. My name is Edafe Matthew. As you're gonna, you love to come in the Liberty One on Sports. It's Tuesday, and you know what that means. The crew is back together again. Arsenal fans are not happy this morning, 3-0. But if you look at Crystal Palace, you know that last October, Arsenal were lucky last minute, and it was after the Crystal Palace game that Arsenal went on that run that I've seen them on the edge of the top four, and it's also Crystal Palace again that have edged them out of the top four. Liverpool are in the title race, and they are going to be in the title race at the end of the season. Manchester City plays today, Liverpool plays today, is it tomorrow in the Champions League? All of that are many talk to talk about, you know, on the flip side. But if you've got Emmanuel Sebastian in the studio, you're not going to do a lot of post-mortem. Let you guys, you know, complain, you know, bear your mind, say the things you want to say, but we've not really had a time to dissect. And there are a lot of people reacting, different comments here and there. I don't know where Emmanuel Sebastian will be driving the ship of state to today, but I'm here just to be the analyst and following wherever he's taking us to. So I could just say, let me hand over the wheel of fortune or the wheel of sports to Emmanuel Sebastian, wherever he's driving us to. I'm going to, one thing I know is that I trust him. Emmanuel Sebastian, welcome back from Abuja.
All right. Good morning to you and to everyone. Good morning to you and to everyone who's tuned in on the show today. I mean, it's been such a very long time. It's been such a very long time, and you know, it's good to be back on the show and everybody. And it's good to be back on the show, and we are you know happy to be back. And like I said, you know, every Tuesday on the show, it's always a pleasure, always a good thing to be on the show to talk about a lot of issues surrounding Nigerian football. And you know, as we speak, you know, there are currently a lot of talking points to talk about. You know, since the fallout from the the team's failure to qualify for the World Cup, and you know, watching the draws at home as a Nigerian, seeing the teams, seeing the teams in the port, and you know,
me as Yoruba people,
we start wishing what could have been.
Oh God.
You know, we have to.
Trust me, my inside and my cover side.
A lot of people are still struggling to move on from it, but I mean, we'll definitely move on.
I moved on
and see where we go from here. So, but I mean, it's time to do justice to the show, and hopefully, the listeners get to enjoy the show today.
Let's hope so.
All right, so you know, let's start from the Ghanaian side. First of all, we'll say congratulations to the Ghanaian national team. They qualify, you know, fairly and score. You know, I've seen people come out and say they
use juju.
Yeah, you know, juju, this and that.
Nigerians can talk.
You know, they scored a lucky goal to Thomas Partey, this and that. Even though, yes, we know the goalkeeper could have done better, but I mean, the one.
If you don't shoot, you don't score. He shot the ball and our goalkeeper fumbled it.
Yeah, and it was in the back of the net at the end of the day. But you know, the assistant coach John Boateng come out to say how, you know, he was speaking to Joy Sports as a Ghanaian radio station to come out, you know, to say how they set up in that game. Tactically, formation-wise, you know, how they started in the first leg, how they played 4-3-3 in the first leg, and they switched in the second leg to 3-6-1, 3-5-1, stuff like that. But
don't worry, we'll see it in Qatar. All this tactical talk, we'll see it in Qatar.
You know what I picked from there is said they played as a team compared to the Super Eagles. They were the
and the game ended in a draw, right?
You know, they played more as a team.
And the game ended in a draw.
Yeah, they didn't win any of the games. So being
a team, it's
so, you know,
when you win, you can say all the things you want
exactly. So
when you win over an opposition, and that's the lack of grace. What they deserve the right to brag, because if we had want to say the same, we'll say a lot of things.
You know, so which brings the question to, you know, where do you think we lost that game? You know, looking at both legs tactically,
we didn't convert our chances.
Where do you think we lost that game?
All this talk about, let's be very honest here. All this talk about, I've heard people say the coach system was found out, the coach tactics was found out. That's all bullshit. That's like, you know how in Nigeria, one of the things that I've noticed with Nigerians, especially in sports, is that we are herd. We have this herd mentality Once one person says something that is very popular, everybody runs with it. Nobody sit down to do critical analysis and say, but wait a minute, this is not true. I've heard people say things like, oh, the coach tactics was found out. You know how when Pep Guardiola, once Pep Guardiola lose, you see people come and say he's a fraud, or they say he overthinks things, right? But when he's winning, you don't say he overthink. And he used that same overthinking to win games, and he wins a lot of games. So look at the game in Ghana. If Moses Simon had put that chance in the net, and which is very easy to score, the ball was put on the plate. There was no pressure on him and goalkeeper. If you put that ball on the net, this is a different conversation we'll be talking about. Nobody will be talking about tactics. Osimhen had about 3 chances to put the ball in the net, but I'm not blaming him. I'm not blaming. This is not me. Like I've said, I've grown past the stage of blaming people, so I'm not blaming anybody now. But he went for the spectacular. The spectacular would have also, been great. I've always said that attackers play instinctively. Okay, so when you're in attack, it's about instinct. It's not about, oh, let's think this thing through like that. Sometimes you can, but most of the time it's about instinct and the calm. I've always told you this thing about Osimhen in the box. He scores a lot of goals, yes. He's a great player. No argument about it. I like his mentality. He's got this Mamba mentality, beast mentality. But there's just this thing about him that I think if he's a little bit calm, if he thinks things through, if he processes the game before he gets the ball, it will do a lot better. They went for the spectacular on 3 different occasions.
Exactly. No
and on those 3 occasions, if the ball had rested in the net, Nigeria will be the team in Group H now. And this whole talk about Ghana tactics, I know Ghana tactics. Hey, come on. The game ended in a draw. You qualified on the wiggle route. This is not me raining on Ghana's parade. No. Congratulations to Ghana. I respect them. They deserve to go there. They set themselves up well. But I don't want anybody to come tell me that it was a battle of superior tactics. Sometimes you lose game. Okay, yesterday Arsenal, Crystal Palace, a better team won. A team that set up well, a team that wanted it well, a team that didn't have too many players. That didn't have too many players that played international games, came back and they delivered, right? But when you look at that overhead kick, somebody said, Felix Peter said, Osimhen's chance was not a clear-cut chance. This is now where we start making excuses. All the goals that people score are not clear-cut chances. Sometimes they fall on you and you do what you want to do. For you to have a time to go 4, 5, 6 feet up the air to do a bicycle kick, that's a clear-cut chance. All you need to do is to jump up and direct the ball with your head, and it's a goal. First off, get the goal. My coach, Manny Sinclair, will say accuracy before pressure. If you are not gone for the spectacular, you jump over the head of somebody and you still meet the ball very well. You hit that ball on the bicycle kick. It's a clear-cut chance. Clear-cut chance does not necessarily mean that they dribble everybody and put the ball in your hand. You're fighting for goal here. You should take the decision. Matches are won in the place of decision making. And I'm not burying Osimhen here. Let's try and get it clear. Yeah. I'm just saying that the way the way people are going about it, and obviously we also arrogantly, as part of it, call Ghana all sort of names before the game. So there's no problem. But it's what rivalry does. It's what banter brings to the game. So if Ghana coach goes out to Joy FM and say the things he's saying, it's good for his market. He has to prove that, oh, I won this game on tactics. No coach will come out and tell you, I won the game by law. I won a ticket. Sorry, because he didn't win the game. He won the ticket. He can't say he won the ticket by luck. He will just say, oh, I won this game on the strength of my tactics. And it's good for him. But let's not just heap, the tactics of the coach, Guava is not good. This one, and I've heard a whole lot of that. It took over 2 legs to create more chances. That's all that a coach setup can do for you. A coach setup is not to come for the coach to come into the field and score the goals that you have. We had a setup that could have won that game. Unfortunately, we did not win it. Now, in the typical Nigerian way, the president of this country is the champion, is the president, is the chairman of that club, blaming other people. We have taken the blame game to a whole new level, man. In the last 7 years, we've been blaming people for almost everything. And now we've taken it to a whole new level right now that I wonder if we would ever, survive from it. But I'm not going to be talking Ghana when I should be facing my own space. I think that Ghana qualified fair and square. Ghana played good football. They knew what to do. Once they scored that goal, we equalized via a VAR assisted penalty. And, the game went on. For as long as we didn't score, Ghana know that they have qualified, and they just kept their shape. They kept going all on that way. But we had opportunities, pocket of opportunities to have taken the game. derby games are not necessarily the most beautiful game, but that game was beautiful. From both sides. Sometimes you score a scrappy goal. You don't wait till you have an hurricane or it's on your mean chance to score goal. Some chances come out of nothing. They just come. It's not the clear cut. Yesterday, when Crystal Palace scored their first goal against Arsenal, it wasn't a clear cut chance. One ball was seated, one person hit the ball back, and somebody put his head, Mateta put his head, and the ball is in the net. That's how you score goals in games like this. It's a London derby, even though one small team and one supposedly big team. But so it just happened. And when it happens, there's nothing you can do about it. I think we should move on and start thinking, okay, the Nations Cup is the next thing in front of us. What do we do with the Nations Cup? If we keep this blame game, this is typical Nigeria anyway. This is typical Nigeria. Ghana came back from the Nations Cup woeful. But they didn't do all those blame. They just did the job they needed to do, put the team together, and they knew that, we have a World Cup to focus on. And straight up, they went to battle for the World Cup. And luckily, they qualified. And this, using the word luckily, is not to diminish or reduce the import of what Ghana did to qualify. But I'm just saying that, okay, they're not one of those who won their game. I said, they won on aggregate. It's just the way it goes. So it's one of those things that happen in football.
All right, let's talk about the setup now. One thing about managers or coaches, you take risk. If it pays off, you get the praise. If it doesn't pay off, you get the sticks. Now, from the first leg and the second leg, look at how we set up in the second leg. Kylian Mbappe came to play from the start, replacing Zaidi Sanusi, who did so well in the first game. Now, this is the same Mbappe who was called up before, and fans were complaining that we didn't cap him, wasn't capped and all that.
Yeah, I remember.
Now there's an opportunity. Okay, Gavon played him from the start. Now in the front line as well, Lookman played from the start. Emmanuel Dennis also played from the start. This is a huge risk from the manager. Etebo had a cameo in Kumasi. Everybody saw what he brought when he came on, but he started that game in Abuja, and we didn't see the Etebo we saw in Kumasi. This is an Etebo who hasn't played in a while for Watford, his club side, coming back from injury. Ola Aina as well, having been playing for Torino, you could see the rustiness at some point in his game was gasping for air. Calvin Bassey, after that first game as well, he didn't play from the start, but he came out to say African football, he was struggling to breathe, stuff like that. Now Lookman as well, new in the African terrain. Dennis, he's been in and out of the team and all that. So this starting lineup, do you think it was the right call for Augustine Gava to bring these guys into the starting lineup?
When we went to Ghana, most people said, and I've said this too many times in this show, and for want of sounding like a broken record, and let me read some of these messages so that the audience doesn't feel like we're taking them for granted. Because I have Emmanuel Sebastian in the studio today, I've ignored them. I'm going to answer your question, Emmanuel, but these guys are the real MVP. These guys who follow us on the channel, on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, they are the real MVP. Let's not keep them aside, because when it's good, they're here with us. When it's bad, they're here with us. They are the real deal as far as I'm concerned. From an entrepreneurial perspective, they are the real deal. So let me take the messages that I can take, and then I'll come back to answer your question. Is that okay, man?
Yeah.
Okay. Sekelewu says, the cap on Osimhen chances were quarter or half chances at best. So people don't score half chances anymore. Okay. I wish Osimhen would have laid that ball off to Lookman. He would have had a tap in. Okay. Went. This one is coming from. So that first one was from Big Sammy. The other one was Sekelewu. Okay. Big Sammy _OG. And then Big Sammy went. He said went on Super Sports to say he was not in support of Rosak. That the timing was wrong and he would coach Nigeria again in the future if the opportunity arises. 69 Lima said Bassi did well. Kevin Bassi did well. And let me take some from hold your question. I'm still going to come back to it. Please don't be angry. You're talking about the setup, the selection, and the squad lineup. Richard Otweje, Semigo Bros Brendo. The Nigerian football are turned out to be a joke. Players no longer feel that spirit of patriotism. Same thing is going on in every sphere of Nigerian government. The country is finished, including football. Nigeria now senior cruise. Well, that's your opinion. I'm not going to come here. I'm not ready to argue against anybody's opinion. If that's what it's hard, that's how you feel about the conversation, it's okay. So let me start with YouTube. A lot of comments are there. Guys, I'm sorry if I'm delaying in reading your messages. It's not because I'm not seeing them. I'm seeing them, but we've got to deal with the show. Okay, Paco, we say good morning to you all. Good morning as well. Can we skip the greetings and just contribute to the show? It will help us so that I don't go amidst people's important comments. Felix Peters, he said Osimhen chances was not a clear-cut chance, okay? And then he went on, he said the app chances weren't visible. Why did we invite players like Shehu Abdullahi when we needed midfielders? Ojosko Multimedia Concept said, you just vomiting rubbish. Okay, Felix Peter said Shehu could not make a 3-inches pass. And then he went on, he said, how do you introduce Shehu as a DM, someone who plays 2 and 3 at club level? Olasco Multimedia Concept, they say it's like Man City playing Norwich and you're expecting Norwich to win. Unfortunately, Norwich can win Man City.
Actually won Man City.
And Norwich actually won Man City. So between me and you, now who's talking rubbish? They won Man City. This season, at Man City's best, Crystal Palace brought them from heaven to earth. You understand? So me and you now who understand football, sometimes don't come to public and think you can have opinion that doesn't make sense. So you're calling Ghana, you're calling Ghana Norwich compared to mine. Say the arrogance with which we think, first off, head to head, Ghana is way ahead of us. The African Nations Cup that we brag about, Ghana's won just as much as we've won. Ghana playing Nigeria is not Man City Norwich. Ghana playing Nigeria is more like Man United, Man City in their prime, both together. It's a derby game. Manchester City Norwich is not a derby game. So let's keep this, as much as everybody have the right opinion, let's keep the stupidity out of the opinions that we are having. And let's talk football with some sense of reasoning. Let's be very, very sensible. And I know that people that you shouldn't react like that. I should. When somebody comes here and if you know me, this is who I am. I will attack you if you attack me. I'm not one of those who play the big man kind of thing. It's not somebody that does not have sense. So if you come out in public and talk rubbish, justify it. You can't call Ghana Norwich and place Nigeria as Man City. No, it doesn't work like that. Ghana actually head-to-head is superior to Nigeria. Nigeria has not really found it as easy against Ghana as we think. Let's not talk about the match fixing that we used to beat Ghana in 2002. Let's not even go there at all. But the truth is, this game that we play, we had chances. We had chances to have won the game. The chance that fell to Moses Simon in Ghana, was that also a half chance? It's not a half chance. We should have taken it. Ghana actually scored us in this game with zero chance. So if we're saying the Osimhen own was a half chance or a quarter chance or not even a chance at all, chances that were in the box 18, Ghana scored a goal from zero chance. They didn't create anything that was troubling the defense of Nigeria, but they scored a goal. So if Ghana can score a goal from zero chance, why are you justifying the fact that we have half chances? Don't people score goals from half chances? Most goals are scored from half chances. So let's not even get into that conversation. Let's go further. Felix Peters, he said, it's obvious that without Ndidi, we are never compact. And that's the thing with us. I remember coming on this show and I said, Wilfred Ndidi is one of the best players that we have in our midfield. And somebody said that on this show, the comment section said, I am overrating Ndidi. Somebody even said, maybe Ndidi has given me money. Now, the thing is, sometimes when we talk football, let's focus on the football. Let's not wait till the player is not there. I will not find out that, oh, this guy's really good. If a player is good, a player is good. And the Shehu Abdullahi talk, let's address that one for a minute. Shehu Abdullahi was actually a defensive midfielder, in case you don't know. And it's because people don't follow football. They think, what they see one place. You know how if you are a presenter on radio and you talk sports, and then maybe they see you somewhere else, you're talking politics or talking something else, they say, I'm going to face with what you know how to do. Because to people, that's the only thing you know how to do. Shehu Abdullahi played for age grade competition, played on the as a defensive midfielder, and he's also played as a defensive midfielder for his club. For crying out loud sake, Shehu Abdullahi came into that game because Onyeka got injured, and Bonke also got injured in the first game in Ghana. I mean, I was there. We saw the groin injury. It was really bad. There was black blisters on his thigh. We caught it on camera anyway. If he makes it to the movie, good. If he doesn't make it to the movie, so it wasn't as if he was selected to play defensive midfield. He was selected as a backup for right full back for Ola, But then you have Onyeka gone. You have, and the coach explained in the interview we had that every position is two players. Now you have Onyeka gone, out injured. Onyeka, who was like the guy who was the link going and coming, got injured. Bonke had already got injured in the first game against Ghana in Kumasi. There's nothing you can do. You have to. You can't keep Onyeka going and worsen the injury. So that's what the coach did. And I think he did a good job. Unfortunately, we didn't win. I can't hold brief for him, but let's not make it look like all the players in the team are just bad. And, well, everybody's entitled to their opinion, but let's not turn the opinion into taking things out of hand. Iyobosa Festus, Osimhen is all over the field. Yes, he was working. He's passionate about it, and that's a plus for him. Sometimes I think, this is me, I think that as a striker, he should also mellow down. He should slow it down a little bit, conserve energy, and just take advantage of the spot, the pocket of spaces within the box. Because when you run, and this coming, let me explain this from an athlete's part of view. When you run, there's plenty of rush of blood to the head. So it blurs your vision sometimes, and then you need to settle down. That's why strikers who don't run too much over the field, who time their run, who calculate when they want to be at the right time, they get it right. They get it right in terms of the number of goals that they bring. I think Osimhen would score a lot more goals. I will said it here over and over before. Osimhen will score a lot more goals if he just keep it calm a bit. But I mean, he's still a young boy. Come on, he's 23. He's still a young boy. He will get the hang of it eventually. Hybrid Time said, I said, why is Igalo justified over Awoni? And that's a question for the coach. He was on Super Sports yesterday. I'm sure that you guys would have phoned into that show and asked those questions. Felix Peters, on what basis do we select players? And then it said there are many things we are not getting right. Nobody ever gets it right in football. That's one of the things that I have said, and I will say again. On what basis was the Italian player selected? On what basis did not Macedonia knock Italy out of the World Cup? Not Macedonia. This is not Macedonia. If you want to talk about Man City Norwich, which is also a disrespectful analogy, you could say Man City, Italy is Man City, and Macedonia is Norwich City. But hey, they knocked Italy out. That's it. And coincidentally, our producer was in Italy. And you saw the reaction of the people. They were not tearing down walls and killing everybody the way we're doing. Okay? They still, they were shocked. They were in pain, but they managed it. That's something we should learn also on this part of the world. I think there's come at some level of unmerited level of self-entitlement, believing that, we are Nigeria, so we must win every game. And I think that's something that we must stop. But let me come back to you, because the questions, the comments on this YouTube are a lot. This selection, remember when we went to Ghana, the government talked to his trusted selection.
Yeah.
And there was noise. There was noise all over the place that, the coach should have changed this. Why do you invite Emmanuel Dennis, Kevin Bassi, Ademola Lookman? I remember we did a show here about Ademola Lookman.
Yeah.
And I remember, saying that I don't see much difference between Ademola Lookman and the guys that we have. The shredding I got, the attacks, the bashing. So okay, no problem. I've seen this boy play. I'm not saying he's not good. He's a good player, but I'm not going to put the weight of changing Nigerian football on the shoulders of these boys. We saw him in the game. What the coach now did was, okay, people say I am stuck in my ways. Let me also adjust a bit. Emmanuel Dennis, you watch him in training. You were in Abuja. Yeah. You watch him in training. He was all over the place. He was doing well. He was controlling the ball. He was, holding the ball. It was a triple threat to his teammates in training. And the coach thought, okay, let me start this guy. Start Lookman as well, because I need crosses for Osimhen. That's exactly what he wanted. Kevin Bassi started because Zaidu Sanusi had a knock. Not a knock that I couldn't play, but they just needed him to rest it a bit. Okay? And then Ola, would always be preferred ahead of Shehu Abdullahi, whether you like it or not, because Shehu Abdullahi was in that team as a backup. My own thought was, okay, why not bring in Jamili Collins that you had at the Nations Cup? We could ask those questions, but the coach had decided we've reached the gate of the game, and we needed to play that game. When he made that adjustment and also played Oganekari Tebo, Frank Onyeka, and one other person, Aribo, in the midfield, I saw a coach who was willing to make adjustment. The same adjustment that we all cried for. Kelechi Iheanacho was not marking in the first game, was not connecting with the team at all. They took him out of the game. That's bold move. Bringing in Kevin Bassi, bringing in Ademola Lookman, bringing in Emmanuel Dennis. That was bold move from the coach as well, to show that, I am a listening guy. I'm not the guy who's talking my way as you guys talk. I listen and I watch the game and I see what you guys also see. Unfortunately, that's football. It didn't work. It just didn't work. Okay? They created chances that were not taken, and okay, people are justifying that as half chances or quarter chances or whatever it is. but it just didn't work. There are other times where that bicycle kick by Osimhen will go in, that header by Osimhen will go in. It's not like, oh, the goalkeeper from Ghana was so spectacular, was saving all the ball like it was Spider-Man. No, they just didn't go well. And some shots were taken, they were feeble, sometimes they were blocked, sometimes, but it's just what football is. Big Sammy says Arsenal Guavo should have revert back to 2 forward at the start of the second half after Onyeka's injury. I agree with you. I think that it was also late with some of his substitutions. But hey, that's football. Coaches take risks and take decisions that sometimes they think this one and then that would happen. But hey, it's football. Happy to say, Edafe, I beg, don't say 2002 match against Ghana was due to match fixing by without or any shred of evidence. You really want evidence? I'll give you tons of it. I'll give you, if that's what you're asking for, I'll give you tons of it. Like tons of it, I'll give you $45,000. I'll give you. See, what are the things that you should have known about me if you followed me very well? I hardly say things that I do not have evidence at the back of, because this is a public space, and when you say things, you need to justify it. It is my reputation on the line. It is mine. Okay, but sometimes you should look around yourself and you will know that the truth. It's just that it's hard for us to accept truth. That's one of those things I've known. James says, he said it was a combination, Nigeria playing below par and Ghana having love and organized. Ghana was there for the taking, to be honest. I agree with you, honest. But isn't that ironic? Isn't that oxymoronic in a way? People say Ghana was organized and then Ghana was there for the taking. How is a team that is organized there for the taking? So what if Ghana was not organized? Because if you say Ghana was organized and then they are there for the taking as well,
you know the fact we're playing.
It's ironic.
The fact we're playing in Abuja, you were in the stadium, you saw the support, like 60,000 capacity,
60,000 capacity,
filled to the brim. I was surprised with the turnout in the stadium. But looking at that atmosphere, you thought the Ghanaians could shrink in that atmosphere. I mean, playing in front of
your belief that crowd make footballers streak is surprising me. That belief, and I've heard a lot of people say that most footballers play well in hostile environments. You understand? Once you know what is at stake, you deafen your ear to the fans. Don't forget that this noise that the fans are making is the both teams that are hearing it. Yeah. And they are in that rectangular space. Okay, it's not like a cottage stadium where the hand of the fans is touching the players. They are very, very far from the fans. Okay, so when the game is on, I don't think professional footballers bother about the noise that the fans are making. Focus on the game. Your biggest distraction maybe is either the kind of substitution your coach will make that will unbalance your team, or the officiating of the game. I don't know.
Sometimes the pressure from the fans can get to the players.
I've never had it. So of all the times that I play football, I practically don't well in stadiums that are very hostile, because you just know that there's only one thing you are here to do: get the result and shut them up. That's the only thing you are in that stadium to do. Sometimes a very relaxed atmosphere make you lose game. So when you have a very hostile opposition, one, you raise your game to the very highest level, and don't forget that hostility can put the home team under pressure, because the fans are hostile because they don't think that their players can get the job done 100%. So they think that they need the support of the fans. The away team looks at it as, okay, this is an opportunity for us to take advantage, because now it's like they're in panic mode. And you know what that does is the first 15 minutes. That's how I was trained. The coach will tell you, don't worry, for as long as they don't score in the first 15 minutes, these fans will get agitated. So forget about the crowd. Just work on the first 15 minutes. And when you get past the first 15 minutes and then you do another 10 minutes, 25 minutes, 30 minutes, the game is in your hand now. It's balanced. It was for and against. But Ghana, another thing you need to know is, this is Ghana. Ghana are used to this type of hostility. So they're not the kind of people, they're not Benin Republic. And this is not me disrespecting Benin Republic, but they're not Benin Republic, they're not Eritrea, they're not Seychelles, they're not Madagascar, they're not some countries who struggle. And then coming into this game, Nigeria have not had a very amazing home record for anybody to be afraid of. Sure. And Ghana is playing in that field just about the same time that Nigeria is playing in that field. We've not played in that Abuja Stadium for Over 10 years. So it's not as if, oh, this is a fortress. Nigeria have been winning people. Everybody that have gone there, Nigeria have slaughtered them, and then Ghana should be afraid. No. These fans, everything about that stadium that day was test run. We are stress testing the stadium. For a very long time, we've not played there. For a very long, up until maybe the day before the game, nobody believed that stadium would be packed full because we have a history of the stadium being packed. So some people were begging, many fans come, once you start doing that, our body language already showed that we're afraid of Ghana. Even though we were big brother in it and we're braving it, but our body language already showed that we're afraid of Ghana. Coming from Kumasi, seeing the kind of crowd I was there, I was listening to radio all through Abuja, and everyone was saying, the way the Ghana people came to the stadium, let Nigerians come, and let them put free buses. Let them throw the gate open, let them do this. I saw one thing, I don't know if it is true, how true that is, but I saw one post that Ghana made $190,000 from the Kumasi game. I don't know how true that is. I don't know. It's not. I've not been able to verify it. I've not been able to reach anybody who is in authority to confirm that. But the question is, how much do we make from a full house? We've not had a full house in the stadium for a while. We played in Lagos. How many games we played in Lagos? We didn't have a quarter of the stadium full. So we have a full house in Abuja with the outside. There are more people outside than even the people inside. I mean, I got those videos. But the question you ask yourself is, did we make money from it? So there's a whole lot not going well. And then let's even broaden the scope a bit. Let's get out of football now. Tell me one thing that is working in Nigeria. One thing, one area of our national lives that is working. What's the last time you had electricity for 5 hours?
Actually, a lot isn't working.
Okay. When was the last time you went to a hospital and you got proper attention? When was the last time you heard a student went to school and they didn't have to deal with strike? So many things you look at, and people that you're changing the conversation. I'm not changing the conversation. We are like children from a dysfunctional family, and we go out there and we expect that everything should be fine on one side of it. It's not going to work like that. We need to accept the fact that we have a very, very dysfunctional system in this country, and football is like the melting point, all right? It's the place where everything comes together and just got disintegrated. We're practically government to ourselves. We provide electricity for ourselves, we provide security for ourselves, we provide healthcare for ourselves, we provide everything for ourselves. And the ones that have a little bit of money run out of the country in droves. Like, the people have never been running out of this country. Like every single day you talk to your friends or family members or former colleagues, somebody's telling you they want to go out of the country. Some people are even amazed, like, you're saying the country. And not many people called me, can you raise me this amount of money? Can you raise me that? I want to go out of this country. I want to go out. I have this. Can you support? Because of how things are. Do you think people in Ghana are running away from their country like that? No, I'm not saying that should determine how football is, but I also think that at this stage, 60 years or so as a country, at this stage, we've reached a place where we can jolly well stand up and say, you know what, this is the normal reaction we give every time we lose a game. We should stop it. It doesn't work. We cannot always blame people. We cannot always come with this entitlement that we're Nigeria, we should win. Italy is not behaving like that. Italy have missed out on 2 consecutive World Cup. You know how crazy that is? Italy is a former World Cup winner. It's not just as recent as 2006, Italy won the World Cup. Italy have a thriving league, a league that they spend money. They just won the Euro last year or last 2 years, if I'm not mistaken, last year. And that same country could not qualify. Not like they had to play against Portugal or they had to play against England or Germany or one big country. First off, they didn't qualify from their group. They had to go to the playoff. And then they were served on the platter, North Macedonia. Last time I heard about North Macedonia, it was like Nigeria losing 2-0 to Madagascar or Ghana losing 3-2 to Comoros. Last time I heard about the name North Macedonia was when I was reading my Bible and reading about the missionary journey of Paul, Apostle Paul in the Bible, where he went to North Macedonia to set up a church. But guess what? That's the country that stopped Italy. Italy created 35 goal-scoring chance in that game. They did score a goal. They've not burned down the country. They've not set the country up. And don't forget, this is the second consecutive World Cup they are missing. Last time I saw Italy at the World Cup, I was a commentator for the World Cup in 2014 in Brazil. Yeah. After that time, they didn't go to 2018. Now they're not going to be in the first Middle Eastern World Cup, the first November World Cup, first Christmas World Cup that we're ever having. Okay? They're not going there. This is a country who was among the elite winners of the World Cup. Okay, and as recent as 2006, they won the World Cup as well. They produced World Footballers of the Year. They produced great players. They won Champions League in their league. Their league is very organized. Everything is good. The economy might be topsy-turvy, but that's Italy. If Italy can take it and move on and work focus, man, what are we saying here? This is Ghana. At some point, we must realize that we, footballing wise, we are not better than Ghana. If we refuse to accept that, there's a problem. We're not better than Ghana. So I can Amokachi blame foreign-based players. I don't know what that means anyway. I don't know if that's not racism and discrimination. I don't know what that means. But
when you say we're not better than Ghana, do you player for player or in the whole
player for player? I'm sorry to disappoint you. Player for player don't play football matches. What play football matches is a team. The team we have versus the team that Ghana have. Yes, we won our 3 straight games in the Nations Cup. That's the biggest thing we have. Central African Republic came to Nigeria to beat us. Are you forgetting that? Because when you want to tell the story from one side, also remember to tell the story from the other side. What are the side where Central African Republic came here to beat us? What are the side where Cape Verde came here and got a draw? What are the side where Liberia almost won us? What are the side where we went to Cape Verde and it takes them scoring own goal from the center of the field against themselves for us to win 2-1? So it's been a long time coming. And to not blame the overseas born players is even the worst part of it. You know what? One moment we all are crying, oh, go and bring these foreign-based players, go and bring these guys, go and bring those guys, go and bring those guys. And then at the end of the day, we bring them and then we want to blame them. Hey, that's crazy. Felix Peters said we have good players, no doubt, but we need an elite manager with a modern football tactics. Rezo is good, but it is too conventional. Hybrid 10, he said, make I hear the evidence. I no get money to pay. Okay, Hybrid 10, he said, I am also disappointed that Iguavon didn't give your son. Jesus Christ. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? And that's Amao. I honestly thought Amao would play that game. When they brought in Moses Simon, I was behind the goalpost. I was just on the ground floor. And when I saw Moses Simon warming up to come in, I was like, if not me, I will bring in Amao because he can hold up play, he can cross the ball, and he could win us free kick. What just got me disgusted is, and this is not me, people are like, oh, he hates Moses Simon. But I just think that Moses Simon is not a Super Eagles level player. Even as bad as the Super Eagles is right now, Moses Simon is not a Super Eagles level player. Should be doing well in his club, fantastic. But he's not got crosses that this team needs. And that's a problem. Then when we win free kick close to the goal, Moses Simon will now walk and stand next to the ball. I'll be like, but you will not play, you will not score this ball. Why are you standing next to the ball? And then why are you choosing to play goal wall when you could just cross it and hope against all hope that it could just lead to a scuffle in the 18-yard balls or something? But hey, coaches trust players to go in and deliver. They go in there and they don't deliver. There's nothing you can do. There's just nothing you can do. We can blame Iguavon for all what is conventional, is outdated, is this one, is that one. It's going to be hard. It's going to be very, very hard for any coach to come in. And we'll talk about world-class coaches. We don't have the money, so let's keep it short. Let's talk about those world-class coaches another day. We'll still have, maybe we'll go and bring in Begolise to come back and coach. The only thing that I'm sad about is if I was Amaju, I said that to him, if I was Amaju, I'll just resign and move on. It does not save his image and make him a better person in the eyes of the people, but it will earn him a little shred of respect. But as long as the board is still there, you still look at it like, oh, these guys are more concerned about what is for them rather than what is for the team. Big Sammy, he scored a free kick under Olise. Where was that? After Olise, somebody else have coached the team for 5 years. Sometimes let's not bring in this, once in a while, one lucky moment. Is it consistent thing? No, the answer is no. So for me, I think that's the only thing we should have. Like, Iguavon and Co are gone. Who are we bringing? We're not going to be able to get a world-class coach. We can't pay them. Our government does not have any plan for sports. And I'm wondering, when we talk about Olise coming in and all that, Olise is part of the committee that is supposed to chart a 10 years roadmap for Nigerian football. After they submitted their report, after they've done anything, and the whole drama and everything, it's crazy.
So the talk is, should we stick to there's this talk that I saw Omar tweeted yesterday that Olise is not a local coach. He grew in Belgium, he studied in Belgium, this and that. There's this stuff of is it local or indigenous? But that's another topic on another day. But Olise is a favorite to come in now to replace Iguavon, according to unconfirmed report. is that the best we could get? I mean, should we still? We all clamored. We all wanted a local coach. Iguavon was at the helm now. We've seen what happened. Amunike was even brought in to help him out, to assist him.
What did I tell you about the Amunike coming in? Remember we had a conversation here?
Yeah, we did.
I said, not going to change anything.
So he's not even in the picture at the moment because he was part of the technical team.
And that's also what I said. Yeah, I said once Amunike comes in to come and assist Iguavon, he spoils his chances of becoming the next coach. And somebody told me that am I expecting that Iguavon and Amunike will fail? I didn't say I was expecting them to fail. This is a national team of Nigeria. And you know my bias. When it comes to the Super Eagles of Nigeria, I'm very, very biased. I am not objective and I'm not apologetic about it. I always say that when it comes to the Super Eagles, I would ride or die with them, sink and swim with them. But I knew that logical reasoning. Amunike might be a good coach, but the fact that he's coming to join this team and the coach is on interim, if I was Amunike, I would have taken the job. I said it here that time, and people said I'm not patriotic. I said, okay, let's see how it goes. Because whatever goes wrong with Iguavon will go wrong with him and affect the entire bench. And that's what has happened. But we'll pass that bridge. Is Olise the right guy to come in? This is my first time of really going neck deep into the Super Eagles. The things that I know about the Nigerian national team right now, I don't think Olise will make it as a coach.
Unfortunately, people are still not convinced with his abilities.
No, his ability is 100%. His ability is world class. Nobody can question Olise's ability as a coach. But Olise's got an attitude problem that these players cannot take. In the history of Nigerian football, and I've been following Nigerian football since 1986 or 1988. I've been following football since 1986, but Nigerian football since 1988. One of the things I'm going to tell you is this generation of players are the richest footballers Nigeria has ever produced. Not the most talented, not the most united. The division in this team is worse than the class of 94. But these are the richest group of players you've ever had. Now, one of the biggest malaise that have denied ex-players a chance of coaching this team that made all of them suffer is always referencing their time. Right? When they always reference their time. I worked with people like that before, and I saw how it went bad. And I quickly realized that, one of the things you shouldn't do is to always say in my time. There was a guy called Ojomo Kiata. He was a coach of Globe Star Football Club for a time. Was a very fantastic footballer in his day when he played for Julius Berger in Nigeria League. He was always referencing his time, and that was a problem. I played under David Adele, was always referencing his time, it was a problem. Dukudi is a great footballer in his day. Good coach as well. I don't know if I can use the word great. Good coach as well. But one of the reasons why he doesn't have a job today, and anybody you talk to, Dukudi does not you don't do mistake, and Dukudi does not say, if I was the one, and people get very, very sick. I can really, really sick of that thought. Okay, footballers don't like it. It's like I'm trying to teach you how to be a journalist or an analyst where I'm good at, and every mistake you make, I reference myself. You get pissed off. Yeah. You get pissed off. I remember having a showdown with my former chairman when he said, in his days, we were not doing anything. I said, Chairman, hold it. In your day, nobody calling on the phone to tell you you're stupid while you're doing a live show. I said, do you that I know, if somebody call your show and tell you you're stupid, you're not going to talk. In your days, nobody on social media insult you while your show is going on and say you're talking rubbish. So don't bring your day to my day. Your day was great. You're great in your day, but also I am great in my day. And it was a big problem, I mean, you know how big my chairman, exalted he is in the game. And then this small rat come out of nowhere and say what he's saying. This unknown, somebody who have a football career in the backside of nowhere, Sharks of Port Harcourt, Dolphins, and Eagles Cement, and then playing in Sweden, coming to talk to a god in the industry. But I was tired of hearing that, and I needed to say my piece. He didn't like it, but at the end of the day, he realized it's true. I said, Chairman, come on. In your day, you guys were only three. It was you, Shego Debami, and Amid Adu. In my day, I'm competing with over 1,000 people talking sports, and I'm still number one. Give me credit, right? Because we needed that showdown. And that's the thing that happened. I've spoken to quite a lot of people. And the funny how it seems like I knew this was going to happen. I was preempting numbers of other players. You work with Olise. What's happened? I've spoken to Wilfred Ndidi about Olise in Cameroon. I've spoken to Leo Balogun. I've spoken to quite a lot of players about Sonny Olise. They like him. He's a great coach. His coaching system, his style of coaching is probably one of the best that they've had in the last 10 years of all the players, or 8 years. Liam Balogun's 8 years in the national team. But his attitude of reminding you, you know that pass that led to Yakini's goal, I was the one. You know that ball that led to us winning the Olympic, I was the one. You know, the players don't like it. And if Olise will listen, if somebody will talk to Olise and listen, and he will listen, I think it will be better. Olise is a good coach. But you see this thing called attitude. Now, everybody needs an attitude. Don't be deceived. We need attitude. You need strong attitude. LeBron James, Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, Serena Williams. Their attitude and their hard work get them to where they are. But you need to know where to put it. Jose Mourinho just made AS Roma play 10 games unbeaten for the very first time since 2015 or 2014.
Yeah.
He's got an attitude. But you have to find where to put it. On your players, you don't compete with your players for stardom. You know your players have to be at the front center of attention, and you take it back. He didn't do that with some of the clubs that he coached, and we saw how Mourinho suffer. He went to AS Roma and he realized that I have to change that. And you saw he gave a tweak to that. When was the last time you saw him do an interview? Well, the Italians don't do interview the way the English press do interview anyway. The English press will ask you a question, and when you answer, they ask you a stupid question, and when you answer to them the way they ask you the question, it becomes headline news and becomes a problem. So I think that Sunday Olise toned that on that a little bit. He will coach the Super Eagles and coach it very well because his coaching methodology is still like top notch. His cutting edge is advanced. And a lot of people that you started again your marketing name. But I'm just saying it. We'll be here to talk. We'll be here to talk about these things. Olise, a good coach, but I think his attitude will always come back to bite him. If he fixes that, I think the players will be willing to play for him. Because it is down to who the players wants to play for.
All right, talking about Olise, and like I said, everyone is still reacting to this fallout from the
somebody, Shadrach, what can say, Olise will fight with all the players. Too hot-tempered.
But I mean, he's the favorite amongst all the indigenous coaches.
But Felix Peter says Olise will be good. He is disciplined, experienced, and has improved his skills from before.
Because no other name comes to mind if you look at indigenous coaches.
We actually don't have anyone.
Except we want to go foreign, but are there funds to
we don't have money.
To fund the foreign money.
We don't have money.
And the kind of managers we are demanding, the kind of foreign managers we want for the Super Eagles, we want an A-list foreign manager, not just.
But we don't have A-list players. A-list foreign managers always work with A-list players. Unfortunately, we don't have A-list players, and Nigerians will not. This one would piss Nigerians off. Nigerians don't want to hear this. But I've said it before. I'm going to say it again. We don't have A-list players.
Something funny happened. After the failure to qualify for the World Cup, and these players went back to their club size and
they were banging goals.
Started banging goals. Kelechi Iheanacho scored against Manchester United. Igalo scored
two against his former club.
And they got to the final. Zaid Sanusi scored yesterday, and people were like, "This was the guy they benched for Bassi in that game."
But it was the same Nigerians that said they should bench him for Bassi. It wasn't the same Nigerians that almost killed Ghana for inviting Bassi and didn't play him. But they didn't bench him for Bassi per se. He got a knock. And the coach decided, you know what, let's rest him. It was good intention. We just didn't qualify. Somebody said Mike Emenalo. Mike Emenalo will not take a coaching job anymore. I don't think you don't elevate yourself to a football director. And then Mike Emenalo, honestly, Mike Emenalo will not take the BS that we give in Nigerian football.
Exactly.
He will not. Mike Emenalo will not take the BS that we give.
We've seen Sheyi Oladokun come out to say how he turned down the approach from the NFF and all that.
I was aware of that.
So it just happened. And these things are just funny. So our Nigerian players are back. Taiwo Oni as well became Union Berlin record goal scorer. Scored again. Again. This is the guy that wasn't part of the team. Somebody
commented what's the rationale of picking Ojo ahead of Awoni. I didn't see that rationale. Honestly, my position with Ojo. I started from this is wrong move. You're my guy, but this is wrong move.
So where does he leave?
By all standard, this is wrong move. You've retired. See, people don't come back and it goes well.
So where does he leave him now? The likes of Ojo, Musa. Do you think they will still come to the national team? I mean, we were all looking at the World Cup.
Is that
for the World Cup?
Is that to the next
retire again? Something, I don't know, it just looks funny.
Sheyi Oladokun is not a coach. You people should stop giving job to people. They say Sheyi Oladokun would be a good coach. He's not a coach. A football director is different from a coach. His career path does not even define him as a coach. He's not a coach. Not.
moving on the show, let's wrap up with Amokachi's comment that sparked headlines yesterday. Like a lot of people are angry. The Super Eagles didn't qualify for the World Cup.
Yeah.
A lot of people are venting out their frustrations. Even the players as well. Took responsibility. Yesterday we saw Uzo release a statement that this was the worst moment of his life as a footballer, and
he was crying at halftime. We had
players-
access to the dressing room. He was crying. I felt for him.
Some fans are still going after him even after releasing such statement. But I mean, it's football, it's the game. Fans will say what they want to say. That's why players go to the extra mile of turning off their comment section. We saw what happened with Maduka Okoye and all that. Ekong as well released a statement, taking responsibility. Leon Balogun as well. These players are not happy that they didn't qualify for the World Cup. Now Amokachi, came out to say, I mean, he's angry. You could tell he's angry, but he came out to say the football administration to return to developmental structure that saw the national team reach greater height. Now, this is what he said. Our players saying what they did in their time. What happened in their time is, he said this was what made them to win the Olympic in 1996. The developmental structure of the game. But this is what people find funny of him calling out the foreign-born players in the squad. He said, quality-wise, we can't take it away from Nigeria. Every day, Nigeria is blessed with one immigrant player who is playing out there, and he will always come up and say, I turned down my best country. I want to play for Nigeria. When their country of birth never looked for them, they won't even make their birth nation squad. Unfortunately for us, Nigeria, we've thrown away developmental structure, this and that, blah, blah, blah. This is more like, calling out the foreign-born players, and, is this the right time for you to come out to say such? Everyone is angry with the team now. You come out to say such statements coming from, a legend in the game. I want to say in Daniel Amokachi and all that.
It's very sad. I would sit here and talk about Amokachi in the way maybe probably I want to talk about it, because I grew up revering Amokachi. Like, Amokachi was God to me. When we talk about the highest moment of Nigerian football, it has to be 94 Nations Cup and 96 Olympics. And Amokachi was front and center of that success. I think that Amokachi, for me, Daniel Amokachi was the best player in the Atlanta 96 squad. And a lot of people will come and fight me on this one. And God blessed him with a goal in the finals. But the work rate he puts in, the energy, the burst of pace, the tracking back, it was 8.5 or 8 and 10 and 8 and 9 sometimes in those games. But this statement, I'm sad that I'm going to even be chiming in on Amokachi. I worship this guy. Amokachi is God by my books. Okay, but this statement by Amokachi is childish to the very nth degree. Because I'm his fan does not mean I won't say this. What he said is childish, is rubbish. This is the definition of racism, but because it's coming from the black side, we'll call it prejudice. It is wrong. And somebody said something, okay? NFF President Michael Emilano, technical grassroots director Shey Olofinjana, coach Eddie Newton, assistant coach Sunday Olise, assistant coach Ndubisi Igbo, goalkeepers trainer Vincent Yama. Is Vincent Yama a coach? Does he have a coach? Now, if you have the chance to do this is what you would do. Is this the process of getting the job done? You see, all of us are also culpable. So let's go back to Amokachi. First, we all blame coaches and FA for not acting fast. We're still blaming the coaches for not getting Eberichieze and Michael Olise, players who have not shown interest to play for Nigeria, who were waiting for us to qualify for the World Cup, and then they'll throw their hat in the ring and say, oh, I'm available for selection. But then again, for a man who married a foreigner, let's not forget that, a man who married a non-Nigerian, whose children are partly Nigerian, partly Algerian or Tunisian, to say the things that he has said, I think it doesn't make sense. If you want to blame the team, blame the team. If you want to highlight what is wrong about the team, highlight what is wrong about the team. But to put it on the fact that it's the players that come from abroad that are not passionate about Nigeria. No. So many things have changed about Nigerian football. And it is high time we stop talking of Nigerian football in reference to 1994. Nigeria is not 94-96. 94-96 was a phase in time. And if you read Sondolise's book, but let's not pretend like that team was all that so good. If you read Sondolise's book, that team was a mess that managed to win an Olympic gold medal. Now, this is not me rubbish in their achievement, but it was a mess of a team that managed to win an Olympic gold medal. If that is the standard to set up a team, we can't win anything. If we set up our team the way we set up that 94 team or the 96 team, we will not even qualify for tournament. That's just the truth. Another thing we need to look at is back in the day, a coach had 3 months, 2 months to put a team together. We don't have that anymore. Okay? We don't have that anymore. All of those times, the team, if I went to Ghana, the team trained only twice. Okay, camp opened on Monday. Players came in. We had only 6 players on Monday because of travel and logistics and all that. By Tuesday, they were coming in trickles. They had one training in the evening, and then on Wednesday they trained twice. The coach had to force that one. And don't forget that the first training on Tuesday evening was just a very light one. And then on Tuesday they trained in the morning and trained in the evening. That was loaded. And then on Thursday they jumped on a plane very early in the morning and flew to Kumasi and went through all of those things that they went through. And then they played their match. And on Friday I came back. Again, it's not as easy as we say this thing. Because when we come out, when players who are supposed to know, who are supposed to be insiders, come out to say things like this, they feed the fans who are not even close to the action reason to jump on speculative positions and begin to say things. But if you're close enough, one, Amokachi is football. As of today, Amokachi is football ambassador. So he should be defending our football. He should be standing for our football. It's like AY coming out to tell you that Amstel water is poisonous. And he's the ambassador and they're giving him over $500 million every year for him to do his shows. It doesn't make sense. Or Basketball coming out to say, what's that beer that he's doing stuff for? And say that they're not a good beer. It doesn't make sense. Or do you want Zazu to come out and tell you that Odogu Bitters is rubbish? He can't do that. You are the ambassador of Nigerian football currently. You should be speaking up and standing up for Nigerian football. But instead of doing that, you're tearing the team apart. When you say this, the team is already divided within itself amongst the born in the abroad players, the Arewa players, the Hausa players in one corner, the Igbo players in one corner, the neutrals in another corner. And then you, Amokachi, come out to establish this publicly. You're just destroying the team completely and making it even more difficult for the next person. Amokachi have coached this team before. He didn't rub himself in glory. Amokachi have been part of this team when he was selling fake Swatch watches for players and threatening them that who doesn't buy will not make the team. Let's not forget all of this history. Because when we say these things, sometimes we just, no, it's the legend of the game. Let's keep it on that wrap. Let's forget. What made Amokachi to leave the team? Patrick Pascal have been with the team since. What kicked Amokachi out of the Super Eagles? I haven't forgotten about that. So when you come out in public to say this, you should look at yourself in the mirror and say, this thing I'm going to say now, is it the right thing? You went to Europe to play. Do you think that they don't have local players that could play your position? They gave you a chance to play as a footballer in those leagues because those people didn't bother to discriminate. Even though we call them racist, Everton, play for Everton, who is described as a racist team, but they give you a chance to play, right? So I don't think saying this thing is bad. We know how bad the country have been, how the state of the nation have been. I can't remember the last time I used NEPA. You know what it means to be using prepaid meter and you buy 10,000 naira card and you're using it for 6 months and it's still not halfway gone? It means NEPA is not giving you light. It's not like the prepaid meter is tampered or they bypass it. This is normal connection and you can't exhaust 10,000 naira in 6 months. That's what we face currently in the country. And to think that I'm in Lagos, okay? I'm in Highbury area in Lagos. And I'm dealing with that. You know what other people are facing? People are running out of the country in droves. So the ones who are out there, who manage to come and play for Nigeria, don't use such terms to describe them. The team, as a footballer, you should know that a team wins together and loses together. It's not about the abroad players. And there is no part of that game where any of the abroad player was found culpable. We didn't lose the game because Ezo, who considered that tricky goal, it's not an abroad player. Yeah. Osimhen, who was doing spectacular, it's not an abroad player. So, that did not really give us the vibe that we saw in Kumasi. He's not an abroad-based player. The guys that were born in abroad, the entire backline that is abroad-based, they didn't do anything. They didn't make any mistake that led to goal or that gave us panic in the game. And then Manedani, you can't even call him Manedani, is born in abroad. Okay? It's not his fault that he's a fine boy. He's not. You understand? So, to even bring that conversation in line with today's game, doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. Over two leg, I thought in my head, maybe I'm wrong. Over two leg, I thought Leon Balogun was the best defender over the two legs. Yeah, I might be wrong, but this is what I think. Ekon, born in abroad, born in the Netherlands, scored the penalty, was brave enough to rise up to the occasion and score the penalty. Yeah. So I don't think Amokachi was right in saying what he said. But hey, they are the legends of the game. What do I know? Did I ever play for the Super Eagles of Nigeria? We don't have time again. Time is the show is gone. Time is over. You have the Nigerian players. You have a lot from
Just
Nigerian players.
just before you go, finally, just one line. Where does this leave the NFF? Resign or just I don't know, wait to the end of your tenure. I think there will be elections later
The
this year.
tenure is going to be over in June.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think for me, I might be wrong, but if not me, at this point I will resign. But it is easy to say if not me. It is easy. So what I might be saying now is the easy way to say it, but the reality is different. There are a lot of implications, a lot of politics, a lot of intrigues and all that. But if I was the one, I just call my brother and say, you know what? Let's be very honest. Over the course of 8 years, this is the worst football FA we've ever had. Okay, yeah. There's no FA that have come terrible, worse than this one. This is the worst one we've ever had. Not for lack of trying, but it's just what it is. Sometimes you do everything and you fail exams. Sometimes you do everything right and things didn't go well. Okay, sometimes you do everything in a relationship and the marriage relationship still doesn't work. So I'm not going to say, because Amaji is a bad person or Shehu Diko is a bad person or Shehu. No, this is not about the individual. This is just about the timing, the season that we find ourselves. This is just that 7 years of famine that was described in the Bible. No matter what you do, if you're not planned like Egypt and you didn't have a Joseph, you're practically going to go out there and beg. It's not because you're lazy, it's because you don't know how to farm. It's just because this is what it is. And it won't save Amaju's image, but it will just earn him a little bit of respect, a tad bit of it, like a little bit of respect. Because if he waits the election and he's struggling for a third term, which I don't think he will get, and everything goes sour, they will point. My mother said, "Don't be the guy that they point at with left hand." I don't know what it means anyway, but that's where he will fall into. He'll become the guy that they point at with left hand. That's not them, not them. You don't want that to happen. So for me, I would say just resign, call a press conference, and hand over the reins of the FA to an interim board who would have maybe 100 days to conduct an election, and we'll move on from there.
All right, we've come to the end of the Sport Buffet today on Elevated TV Radio. Up next is the Nigeria Players GPS show. Club football is back, and Nigerian players are back, banging the goals and firing on all cylinders.